Here's the stuff they got from the shelf.
Water. I'm going to put it over here.
All your adapters are in here.
Okay. Maybe we can go with
Hey, Ilya. Hey, Mahendra. I was hoping we could sync on the Ignite session. How's everything coming along?
Yeah, I just got to the set.
Hey, sorry, Mahendra. I couldn't quite catch that. It's kind of noisy.
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn on voice isolation, and that should hopefully help in the background noise.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
There you go. Hopefully I sound better now. Yeah, I'm not sure if you look at the latest script. I think Pete did an amazing job with the overall flow. Can't wait to get you here so we can get this recording done.
Oh, great. Well, I'm almost there, so see you shortly.
See you soon. Take care.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Mahendra Sekaran, Vice President of Teams Engineering. Thank you for joining me today as we share how Teams Phone can help enable a new era of work. Over the past few years, the pace of work has increased exponentially, and the current crush of data and always-on communications is creating new challenges that can impair our productivity, creativity, and ability to focus. You might relate to feeling disconnected from your coworkers as we're doing more work with people from different locations, different time zones, some of whom we've never met in person. We're also dealing with information overload every day, which can create noise and distract us from what really matters. And of course, we're all juggling multiple priorities and deadlines. But fortunately, modern technology has also created opportunities to simplify our lives and potentially save on costs as well. In fact, a recent independent Forrester consulting study commissioned by Microsoft found that Teams Phone customers saved their employees 1.6 hours per week and realized 143% return on investment. And while I could go on and on about the efficiency and cost benefits of Teams Phone, frankly, I think that our customers say it best, as you can see on the slide. Teams Phone brings communication and collaboration together for an effortless, integrated experience. With its intelligent capabilities, Teams Phone empowers your teams to create rich, meaningful engagements that keep your business connected, increase productivity, and save employees time. Plus, you can rest easy knowing you have a reliable and secure calling solution that is easy to manage and supports your business growth needs. I'm not alone in my excitement either. Earlier this year, we shared that Teams Phone has reached 17 million PSTN-enabled users. Thousands of organizations around the world have replaced a traditional PBX and made Teams Phone their smart calling solution. It's an exciting and humbling milestone that I'm personally proud of since my team builds many of the services that powers Teams Phone. But this would not be possible without the dedication from our teams, partners, and especially our customers, whose ongoing feedback allows us to keep on innovating. So on behalf of the Teams team, thank you. Well, in many industries, flexibility is no longer a competitive advantage. It's a requirement. And part of that flexibility means that we need to remain productive wherever and whenever we are working. Even if that means working from a busy coffee shop or a noisy film set or next to the loudest person in the office, which coincidentally often is Ilya, but today it happened to be me. Fortunately, voice isolation is a new Teams audio experience that suppresses all background noise, including all voices except your own. While background noise suppression removes background noises, voice isolation can distinguish your specific voice from other human voices, only letting other participants hear what you have to say. During my call with Ilya earlier, I used voice isolation to ensure Ilya just heard me and not the film crew working around me. Voice isolation can truly help make any space a workspace, and will be generally available later this year. Employees' demands for flexibility have set a new precedent in today's modern workplace. It isn't just about choosing where, how, or when we work. It is also about our ability to be productive on the go. Flexibility is equally as important for admins to scale and adjust their software deployments as businesses grow and evolve. And that is why Teams Phone offers multiple PSTN connectivity options, allowing our administrators to choose the calling plan option or connectivity options that best suits their business needs. This spectrum includes fully managed Microsoft Teams calling plans, as well as options to bring your own operator calling plan with Operator Connect, Teams Phone Mobile, or direct routing. Teams calling plans continue to be an attractive offering for many customers, due to the simplicity and ease of deployment. And now I'm pleased to share that our Teams calling plans coverage has expanded to include Hong Kong. As the proliferation of mobile endpoints for business use continues to increase, mobility is top of mind for many organizations. With Teams Phone Mobile, we have taken productive mobility to a whole new level, enabling us to create rich calling experiences seamlessly integrated into a user's mobile device native dialer, all without sacrificing quality, security, or compliance. With Teams Phone Mobile, you can have a single business-provided phone number that works across your mobile phone and all your other Teams endpoints. Unified Presence updates your status when you start and end calls, regardless of whether you're on your native dialer or on Teams. Easily uplift a call from your phone's native dialer to Teams, share content, turn on your video, and enjoy the collaborative experience that Teams brings you. Given the strong interest that we have seen from our customers, it gives us confidence to continue to work with mobile network operators globally to bring the value of Teams Phone Mobile to more markets in addition to the coverage listed here. And for organizations with employees based in India, we are partnering with local operators to launch their Teams Phone-powered solutions. Leveraging the Operator Connect platform, these full-featured Teams Phone solutions offered by our partners will provide employees greater calling flexibility and subsequently support work-from-home scenarios as well. We want to take a moment to thank our launch partners, Airtel, Tata Communications Limited, and Tata Tele Business Services for their partnership in bringing their respective solutions to market. Your organization is unique, and so are your calling needs. From individual employees to specialized teams and departments, the demands can be wide-ranging. Today's workers are no longer tethered to a desk. This means they need a calling solution that moves with them wherever work and life takes them. Teams Phone delivers consistent and intuitive calling experiences across devices, from personal devices like laptops and desk phones to shared devices such as Teams displays and common area phones. We continue to optimize the UI of our Teams certified phone devices, creating a more intuitive and accessible experience that makes it easier than ever before to manage incoming calls, simplifying the call transfer and forwarding experience. Easily send incoming calls to voicemail and set busy on busy settings directly from your device. Your unique set of credentials is all you need to get started, avoiding any delays or confusion associated with context switching and enabling greater efficiency and productivity. Now, with the Teams shared device license, frontline workers will be able to make and receive calls and on shared Android devices, and even benefit from advanced calling features like call queues and auto attendance. With the hotline phone capability, you can now program your Teams certified devices to directly dial a pre-configured phone number or contact, such as emergency services in a manufacturing plant or an organization's help desk. Simply pick up the handset of the device and the designated phone number will be automatically dialed. And the SIP gateway now supports analog devices, allowing you to use Teams Phone on compatible analog telephony adapters from AudioCodes, Cisco, and Poly. With this support, Teams Phone can now be used in cases such as elevator phones, door openers, and various specialty analog devices which previously required an on-premises PBX. We continue to expand our devices coverage and recently launched support for overhead paging devices from Algo, so you can use Teams Phone with your pagers, ringers, and speakers in noisy environments such as manufacturing plants. Teams Phone makes it easier than ever to stay connected with colleagues, customers, and partners. But don't just take my word for it. Earlier, I had the opportunity to catch up with Per Anderson, who's the Director for Modern Workplace Strategy at de Laval, as we discussed how Teams Phone is really changing the way they work. Let's take a look. Good afternoon, Per. Thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. From our conversations, I understand that de Laval has been on this multi-year digital workplace transformation journey. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, of course. Our journey with our digital workplace actually started 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we were hopeless after every other company. We were not using the cloud. We were totally on-prem. And I was hired to de Laval to do the same things we did in other companies I worked for, and that was actually to move 𝗲𝗲𝗏 to the cloud. And of course, we ended up with 365 mail, Skype went to Teams, etc. So we got all the basic stuff first, the first year, and then that led to a lot of other things.
That's awesome. So when you started this journey to move to Teams Phone from an on-prem PBX system, what would you say that success looked like for the transformation? And would you say that you've achieved your goals?
Yeah, our journey is starting to move over to Teams Phone, which were part of which I just said earlier about the bigger journey of digital workplace, was of course facing the as-is situation and try to build a strategy for where we want to be. And we had an Alcatel on-prem solution in 12, 13 countries with about 1,000 users on that platform. And that platform was working, but it was a very silo platform. And what we wanted, of course, by doing this 365 journey was to follow Microsoft. And in the circle of Teams, you normally also put in voice. And for me, it's natural to cut in telephony into that circle of services which Teams is the hub for. So when we thought about get rid of Alcatel, it was natural for us to go to Teams Phone. And yes, the journey has been a success.
That's great to hear, Per. Thank you. Well, what would you say your biggest considerations were when it came to move from your on-prem telephony solution to Teams Phone? And then how much of a factor do you think reliability, simplicity, and flexibility was in your choice of your telephony system?
I mean, the current system we had, the Alcatel system, it was actually working, so I shouldn't complain so much, but there was a big need to do new investments in it, and the investment in that would only have strengthened that silo. So the challenges we had was, of course, you can somewhere when you start a project, you know everything, and then you start the project, and it takes a long time because you need to analyze everything. But me and my colleagues and an external company we used for this, we had a huge belief in the Teams Phone platform. So we actually started the project without having all necessary answers before. So our strategy was, let's solve that later. And that strategy actually worked. So you not always need to know everything before you start. So that was the way we handled challenges that we knew would come, but instead of spending too much time in the beginning, we spent time when it was time for solving them.
That's a good staged approach to any deployment, I would say. And as you said earlier, since you operate across multiple countries and 𝗲𝗏𝗏 has a distributed operation across various types of facilities, can you talk about the different ways that employees at 𝗲𝗏𝗏 rely upon calling across your distributed workforce? Specifically, I would love to understand more about how you're using Teams Phone across your manufacturing facilities and technicians in the field.
Yeah, when we started this journey, we had a small challenge that the entire world had. We started the project in COVID. And during COVID, everybody had to go home, even the white collars. The blue collars had to stay in the factories, so they were not so affected. But when we go into a factory and replace our telephone system, the decked phones, etc., we of course had to solve some issues for them. But if I start with the example of field sales and field technicians, they of course had a mobile phone before, but now with Teams Phone and having a mobile connection to that, we use Operator Connect a lot. They got a much better and more flexible way wherever they were, in the office, at home, or at the customer. The people in the factory, they of course also wanted to utilize the new functionality. So we swapped out the decked phones for Teams phones instead. And that has been maybe not the biggest success because we still have some issues with Wi-Fi coverage, but we have solved that as well in various ways, and we improved the Wi-Fi in the factories and the warehouses. So, Teams and Teams Phone is very flexible, And I also have some examples where we faced two big problems in the factories and the warehouse. One was we have gates where the trucks need to go in, and there is a video intercom that you need to say, hello, I come with goods to be delivered to the 𝗬𝗲𝗸𝗀 factory in Stockholm. And there is a video thing saying you look into that one, and the one that answers the call need to open the gate. And we didn't have a solution, but we found a SIP gateway solution that solved this. So we got the old stuff to work. The other example for factories and warehouses is a PA alarm system. It was the same thing. We used something in the past connected to Alcatel, and when we came with Teams Phone, how shall we get the PA system to work? Then we used the same SIP gateway solution and connected the PA system to Teams instead. So by using Teams, the one that should send out alarm or a question to everybody using the PA system can now do that. So, I mean, Teams Phone is not just for blue collars like me using your smartphone. We have been successful in replacing other solutions and also kept old solutions with this SIPGate example that I just explained.
That's wonderful. It's so great to hear that the SIP gateway solution in Teams Phone has helped you protect your investments in existing hardware while still modernizing the experience for your white collar and blue collar workforce. That's fantastic. So Sapar, I also understand you're getting started with Teams Phone Mobile and you have a pilot running. I'd love to hear more about your mobile first strategy and how you see Teams Phone and Teams Phone Mobile playing a part in it.
The idea of having one device, one smartphone, one PC, one smartphone, one number, that is a really good thing going forward. But that didn't stop us when we rolled out Teams. So we went for Operator Connect. But Operator Connect, as I know it, adds a landline number. And that number, who is interested of that? I don't need it. So Teams Phone Mobile is more simple, it's more efficient, and I think it's more not so expensive, so it's probably cheaper. So it's only win-win-win with Teams Phone Mobile. So what we will do now is go out in different markets where we have various telecom operators and try to move users in chunks or sites over to Teams Phone Mobile instead, because that is a much better thing when you have that need. And then you have some needs, of course, where you need to call a Stockholm number or a München, Hamburg number or whatever. Then, of course, you still need that fixed number. So it's not 100% black and white, but I think majority of the users will be on Teams Phone Mobile in just, let's say, a year or two.
That's great to hear. We see the same thing where the boundaries between fixed and mobile lines continue to blur. And it's great to see you taking a very robust approach in terms of how you serve different parts of your company. So, Per, one question I had for you is, with your investments in Teams Phone, I'd love to understand from your vantage point, how much flexibility has Teams Phone offered in terms of expanding to new countries or regions or managing your existing user base as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, expanding in our case was actually remove Alcatel, go to Teams Phone. That was these 12, 13 countries I talked about. But then, of course, it doesn't stop there. Now, with the new platform, with the flexibility built into 365 as such, but also in Teams Phone as such, it's so easy to add a new country, a new site. Some weeks ago, we added Switzerland, which is not the same as Sweden, as you know. Switzerland was a new country for us. They didn't use Alcatel. They had an old system they wanted to replace. And the question came to us, can we please step into this? We have heard good things from other Delaval countries. And we said, of course. We put up a small project and we added those 50 users from Switzerland into Teams Phone. And we did the same in Austria. We did the same in Norway in the beginning of the project. So with this platform, we have much better flexibility for adding or even decreasing users all over the globe, wherever Teams Phone is supported, of course.
Lastly, communications is so important in keeping employees connected and productive. And at Microsoft, we continue to invest in new and improved Teams Phone capabilities to support the future of calling for our customers. I would love to understand what does the future of calling look like for 𝗬𝗲𝗏?
I mean, the future looks bright, and maybe Microsoft Ignite this year will tell us a lot of good things. And what we are looking for is what everybody is talking about, AI support. So I have seen and read a lot of material, and I and my colleagues will look into Teams Phone Copilot. Of course, so when it comes and when we can utilize it, I mean, how can that help us if you and me have a phone call and I can get a summary of what we said, or maybe even a task list of what we decided me to do or you to do? I mean, the commercials looks great. So if we think about that thing, I think Teams future of Teams Phone is, it looks so interesting. But I don't think AI is the only thing. The things we talked about earlier, going to more easy setup with Teams Phone Mobile, that will also help us a lot going forward. But last, but maybe not least, is maybe telephony is not what everybody think is the most sexy thing in the world. So maybe we need to educate our users a little bit more how to become more effective using Teams Phone, etc. So you know the tool and the services better. So if we think about that and then put AI Copilot on it, there you have the future.
That's fantastic. I love everything you said, Per, and I'm excited that our strategy will deliver on what you expect from us. Looking forward to your continued feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to thank Per once again for the discussion. This is the part of my job that I absolutely love the most, when I get to hear from customers directly about how the work that we are doing is having an impact on their businesses. And on that note, what better way to segue onto our next section as we talk about the transformational power of AI. And joining me is my esteemed colleague, Ilya Bukshteyn. Ilya, over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Ilya Bukshteyn, VP for Microsoft Teams Calling and Devices. Today, AI is on everyone's mind, and AI for calling is no exception. Organizations like yours continue to look for new ways to harness the power of AI to work more flexibly and intelligently. And that's where Microsoft 365 Copilot for Teams Phone comes in. It brings calling to a whole new level. Copilot in Teams Phone can help automate the important administrative tasks on a call, such as capturing key points, task owners, and next steps, so you can stay focused on the content of the call. You can also use natural language commands to ask Copilot for additional recommendations for related topics. For example, you can ask Copilot to summarize the call so far, even ask for a list of the issues discussed that are yet to be resolved. And then you can share the summary and highlights with a colleague for full context before transferring the call. Copilot in Teams Phone helps take care of the busy work and lets you focus on connecting and collaborating with your coworkers and customers. Today, Copilot in Teams Phone supports both VoIP and PSTN calls. Obviously, this is an incredibly exciting time for Teams Phone as the first solution to bring generative AI to calling. Copilot in Teams Phone is now generally available as part of the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. Of course, we don't just stop at Copilot. We are continuing to bring innovative calling capabilities to Teams Phone, helping organizations handle internal and external calls more efficiently and resulting in improved experiences for everyone. For example, with Private Line, you can enable a private second phone number for a select set of callers so they can make calls directly to a specified contact, bypassing delegates, admins, or assistants. Inbound calls to the private line will be distinguished by a unique ringtone. We're also doing updates to the shared line appearance feature to provide a more tailored experience for delegates and delegators with a simplified interface in the Calls tab within Teams, and the ability for delegates and delegators to join active calls when permitted. Another key innovation, and one we've heard a lot of customers like you ask about, is the ability to be alerted when you've received a protected voicemail. Now, a new notification alerts you when you've received such a voicemail, helping you ensure you don't ever miss an important voicemail with sensitive information. You can easily access your voicemail securely in the Outlook web app by clicking on the link within the notification itself. Now, what about customers browsing your website who may want to find more details about your business or engage with a team like your customer support? Well, Teams Phone can make that happen as well in one click. With Click to Call, customers can easily reach your sales or support teams directly from your web page or app. Your developers can add, customize, and program the Click to Call widget to connect customers to a specific Teams user, call queue, or auto attendant. Click to Call is now generally available. Earlier, Mahendra talked a lot about flexibility. That's because we understand how valuable simplicity, flexibility, and consistency are to our customers. Streamlining communications and collaboration into a single platform brings all these values to the end user, but also makes management of these capabilities much easier for your organization. Through a single Teams admin console, phone numbers can be procured and assigned, devices can be provisioned, capabilities can be configured, and policies can be set, all with the speed and ease that helps your organization and IT team stay ahead of what's next. We know that many of you, our customers, feel the constant pressure of competing priorities, limited resources, and ever-growing business demands. So I'm excited to announce one way to address some of these pressures. Shared calling for Teams Phone simplifies the deployment process, saving deployment time and reducing administrative costs. Customers may also see additional benefit from the consolidation of multiple calling plans assigned to users into a single shared calling plan. With shared calling, in just a few steps, you can assign a single number and calling plan to groups of users licensed for Teams Phone, all within the Teams Admin Center. Equipping your business with the full set of Teams Phone capabilities, including emergency calling, without having to provide each person with a dedicated number. Let me show you how this works. In the Teams Admin Center, I can simply create a custom shared calling policy group. Then I can assign a resource account and a phone number to this new custom policy. And finally, I assign users to this policy. And just like that, you can have your whole organization enabled to place and receive PSTN calls with a shared phone number. Shared calling is now generally available to use with pay-as-you-go Teams calling plans and third-party operator plans. Along with what you just saw, we continue to work on making the admin's experience simpler. Now admins can easily identify potential configuration issues, such as missing resource accounts, or a missing Teams Phone license, or even when the resource account doesn't have a phone number assigned. This improved capability in the Teams Admin Center helps evaluate specific calling scenarios and provides you details about potential misconfigurations. Last, but certainly not least, you'll now be able to change your external call routing settings, allowing admins to decide how incoming PSTN calls are routed. This new capability will provide more flexibility for handling customer communications. Everything you've seen today demonstrates why Teams Phone is the best way to bring calling into the flow of your work, allowing your employees to communicate and collaborate effortlessly from anywhere with intelligent features that help connect your business while boosting productivity. From planning and deployment to training and management, we've got you covered with support and resources to help you all along the way. I invite you to learn more about how Teams Phone can take your communications to the next level and get started with a Teams Phone trial today. Thank you all for joining us. Until next time.